On my first episode, I talk about sleeping paralyzed and how to avoid it. Honestly speaking, and yes, the salt can help you. But it does not mean that the sleeping paralyzed will stop too and never return. What I mean is, think of your toes to move or your hand, try to wiggle and focus on this. And when finally you wake up from the paralyzed dream, what you need to do is drink of a glass of water and try to spray the salt in the area or in your bed, so that they will never return when you go back to sleep. In my experience, many times with a paralyzed dream, it can occur on any time, even if it's in the middle of the afternoon. But most happen is in the middle of the night. Almost for decades, and now finally after 3 weeks that I'm wearing this very thin lace, I don't get bothered anymore with the sleep paralysis. I would say that I am totally free from this kind of very weird thing happened during the time of sleep. I know that the creature, either in a room, but he or she can touch me or harm me no more. I feel safe, and when I'm wearing this thin lace, it is said to be that wearing this kind of scarlet, crimson string Hebrew, as a type of talisman is a Jewish folk custom as a way to ward off misfortune brought about by the evil eye, Hebrew. The tradition is popularly thought to be associated with Kabbalah and religious forms of Judaism. I would say that this is very effective to me to use because of wearing this I don't get paralyzed anymore. The red string itself is usually made from thin scarlet wool thread. It is worn as a bracelet or band on the left wrist of the wearer, understood in some Kabbalistic theory as the receiving side of the spiritual body, knotted 7 times. The person has to knot it 7 times while saying the Kabbalah bracelet prayer. In relation to traditional beliefs, there is no written mention in the Torah, Halasha, or Kabbalah about tying a red string around the wrist. It seems to be a custom that has been around since at least the early 1900 seconds. 1. The wearing of a red string cut from a longer length that has been wound around Rachel's tomb is a recent 20 years fad, and is not a propitious remedy to protect the wearer from danger. Some Jews argue that it has the opposite effect, saying that it is used in idol worship, which is against God, and that therefore no good can come of it. Red strings around the wrist are common in many folk beliefs, one for example the Kalavai is a Hindu version. Biblical history: a scarlet thread, tied about the wrist, is mentioned in Genesis 38. Tamar becomes pregnant by her father-in-law, Judah, and gives birth to twin boys. The following verses about this event are taken from the King James Bible, Genesis, chapter 38, 27, and it came to pass in the time of her travail, that, behold, twins were in her womb. 28, and it came to pass, when she travailed, that the one put out his hand, and the midwife took and bound upon his hand a scarlet thread, saying, This came out first. 29, and it came to pass, as he drew back his hand, that, behold, his brother came out, and she said, How hast thou broken forth? This breach be upon thee. Therefore his name was called Pharez. 30, and afterward came out his brother, that had the scarlet thread upon his hand, and his name was called Zerah. Modern trend in Israel: there was a resurgence of the red string in the 80s post-Intifada period, perhaps best understood as a type of folklore created under conditions of personal and national anxiety and stress. Today in Israel, it is common to see elderly women peddling scarlet thread for pilgrims and tourists, especially in the old city of Jerusalem. 2-3 Outside of Israel in the late 1990s, the red string became popular with many celebrities, including many non-Jews, led by Madonna and her children, and including Sacha Cohen, 4 and Leonardo DiCaprio. 5, 6, 7, 8 The wider popularity is often linked to Philip Berg's controversial Kabbalah Center. Today I'm not experiencing sleep paralysis anymore. I feel good and finally free. So what is this stuff that stopped my sleep paralysis? It is just so simple and very cheap. Scarlet string. Or red string from Kabbalah. Hope this help you to stop your sleep paralysis. Wear this in your left wrist and never remove. You will see the effectiveness of this string. Thank you and don't forget to subscribe to my channel.